there's so many changes that are going on. And we've talked about change, and we've talked about all of the disinformation that's going on. And what I would really like to do is give you a heads up with this whole AI thing that's going on. On one hand, it's scary. On another hand, if you zoom out, it's like, okay, we're just all in this leap, ready to make this next leap of evolution. But what I'm noticing on the AI is the small things that are going on with the autocorrect. And these are normal texts. And at first I thought it was funny, but then I started thinking about it and said, if you're not paying attention, that thought's getting put in there. That thought's getting put in there. Look at this. I just started writing down a couple of them as they happened. I was talking to somebody and I said, what you need is a shift. What came out is what you need is a shoot. Kind became kill. Movement, autocorrect murder. Telepathy, typing. Because became bullets. Sired any children became fired at any children. Even became revenge. Now, you can laugh about the autocorrects, but if that's what's happening and I text about loving things, this is not AI taking from my languaging. This is AI inserting. And then even here in Italy, and I just have come back, I've only been back a very short time. Today, I was saying si debba, which is the condition for one would need to, became abbandonare, which is to abandon. So instead of one would need to, it became abandon it. This is psychic warfare. Now, who's behind it? I can't say. I don't know for a fact, but this is psychic warfare. So we know that there's psychic warfare going on in the disinformation. We know that there's psychic warfare going on in the feeding of fear. We know that there is psychic warfare going on in the marginalization of new and different ideas. We know that there's psychic warfare going on in treating this whole thing of technology as technology is better than our own biology. This is all psychic warfare, and now autocorrect, psychic warfare. So I'm not against the tech, but what I am saying is that now, more than ever before, we really need to stop individually and take a look at what we're feeding ourselves. And when you get something like that autocorrect, you stop and you send love back through those channels. Basic activation, first step, divine light flowing from infinity within, through your divine soul knowing, up through your divine heart, your human heart. Let it spill out in all your bodies, but then also let it reach up and you send it out. Up through that channel, sending love, sending love, sending love, sending love, sending love. Because in the process, then what you're doing is that you're transforming your own psyche and consciousness of saying, I'm stepping out of this. And you're just saying, I do not unknowingly feed my mouth, feed my face, feed my mind with this garbage. Because it is psychic warfare. It's also very, very important, and I've talked about it in other conversations, very, very important. In these days, news, opinions are peddled as hard news. And When a story is repeated enough, if we're not paying attention, we'll accept it as truth, and then we'll behave on that truth. That's psychic warfare. It used to be fun and savvy. Yeah, how are we going to spin the story? How are we going to spin the narrative? But now we live in a world where everything is spun. Where do you hang your hat? You can't hang it where you used to. You can't hang your hat with your government because all of the shenanigans are coming out. You can't hang your hat on the old ways of thinking because these times are changing so fast. Where do you hang your hat? And the call to action is you hang your hat on your own divine soul knowing and you look within. And I don't care what you call it, but it's that origin spark of divine sentience. And when I say the word divine, I mean the ability to self-observe and move beyond what we see around us, to raise ourselves up beyond and go deeper into our own love. That's where we have to hang our hat. We have to also really, with great love, pay attention to all of the yes buts that are going in our head. And anytime you get involved in any kind of white noise of looking at differences and differences as being bad, we should be celebrating our differences. For the same people that are yelling and screaming about all the differences are the same people that are deathly afraid of that horrible word called communism, where everybody is supposed to be the same. Listen to yourself, pay attention to your pre-prejudices because that has been a narrative that you have bought into. And the thing is where do you hang your hat? Not on the old narratives. Where do you hang your hat? Not on the new narratives that are coming in. It goes back to hang the hat on the divine love of you. Learn what that's about. Discover what that's about. Let go of what you think you know. Let go of what's coming at you. You don't need to create barriers to protect yourself because then you're just feeding it. But you do let that sphere of light rise up, center to circumference, and just surround you so that you're emanating in light. You're walking in your own sphere of light. And you hang your hat on your own divine soul knowing. There are those that want everything to be lovely and hunky-dory, and that's okay. And you put on blinders and you turn it down. Just know that in doing that, you're allowing yourself to get swept along wherever the river's going. And so if you don't like where the river takes you, then hey, that was your choice to make along the way. So I'm not putting any judgments on those who want everything lovely and pretty and keep the blinders on. If that's what you really feel called to do, do it. That's okay. But if you really are interested in waking up and you're really interested in serving, then hang your hat on your divine soul knowing and really listen to what are my core values? What are my core values? And if it has anything to do with that mirror universe of measuring your self-worth by what the world mirrors to you, then you're going to get swept. And you're participating in the psychic warfare. So just stop and really listen within. What are your values? What do I value? Who am I? And really, who am I? Not who am I. Let go of all of the interpretations that people have given you and be really curious. Who am I? And let that love rise up. And really make a point of emanating that out and really make a point of learning to speak up in new ways. Because there is a divide and conquer dynamic that's going on in the collective, and there's also never been a stronger spiritual movement going on in the collective. So if this is new for you, stepping outside of the old and you're afraid you're going to be alone, just keep hanging your hat there, trust the flow, and state to that whole quantum consciousness that we reside in, I want to meet like-minded hearts, not like-minded people, because then you'll get still caught up in the outside, but like-minded hearts, and see where that starts to take you.
Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for being interested in learning on how to live your light more fully and freely with emotional freedoms that you haven't even yet begun to dream of. And that gives you the courage and clarity to live your divine soul purpose. Now, just so that I play well with the algorithms here on YouTube, be sure to like the video. Please leave me a comment, because I do love more two-way conversations, and subscribe if you want to stay in touch with any of the new material that I'm putting out there.